This was probably by far the worst date that I had ever been on. If you're new here, I'm a behavior analyst and I give relationship and self growth advice. But before that, I had to kind of go through my own experiences to really learn what I've learned.
I met this guy on Hinge, and I don't think it's a Hinge issue. I met my current boyfriend on Hinge, and he's wonderful. I just generally think that I need to stop picking people that I wanted to try to fix or had unrealistic expectations. This guy was a paramedic, obviously, first responders. Their schedules are crazy, but he seemed really nice, and the conversation was great. The night before our date, this man calls me. He calls me complaining about a girl he took out on a date the night before he was supposed to take me out, saying he couldn't understand why she had a problem that he was so late. Couldn't understand why she didn't understand that a first responder schedule was so crazy. I'm sitting on my bed like, okay. Yeah, no, I totally get you. That's pretty stressful. Like, that's not fun. Like, you need people who are trying to be understanding of your job. Why, Christina? Anywho, he goes, so we're good for tomorrow, right? We're confirming for tomorrow. You want to get ice cream? And I was like, sure, no problem. And then the next day comes and he's texting me throughout the day and he's like, hey, I'm going to pick you up around like 6:30. We'll go get ice cream, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, perfect. He's like, okay, cool. I'm just going to finish my shift off and then I'm going to, take a nap and everything. Okay. This was at 9 a.m. So this man finishes his shift and he's like, okay, I'm going to take a nap. And I was like, hey, if you need more time, please let me know. I totally get it. You probably had a really long day. We can even push it to 7 or even 8. This was the summer. I didn't really care. He goes, no. I'm gonna pick you up at 6:30. I was like, okay. And then 6 o'clock rolls around. 6 o'clock rolls around and I'm waiting on my couch, ready to go. Nothing. 6:30 comes, I call him like, hey, is everything okay? No answer. 7 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, okay, he's an hour late. I texted him, still no answer. So I'm like, I'm gonna go change. 7:30, I get a call. And he calls me and goes, sorry, I fell asleep. And me trying to be understanding, I get it. You're a first responder, you had a long shift. I'm like, okay, like, no worries. We can just cancel. No. I know if we cancel, then you're never going to talk to me again. We're not going to see each other. I was like, that's literally not what I said. You're tired. Like, we can cancel. He goes, no. I'm going to come pick you up. I'm going to take you on a date. I'm like, okay. 8 o'clock rolls around. I get another call. He goes, I haven't even left yet. I actually was just lying down, chilling on my phone. Are you okay if I come in basketball shorts? I'm like, sir, you were 2 hours late and you want to now come in basketball shorts. Also, why are you calling me, asking me if you could come in basketball shorts? I was like, listen, you do you. It's not good look for you. It's a first date. But hey, if you want to come in basketball shorts, I'm not going to say anything. I was like, no. I'll dress up. Okay, it's fine. Hangs up the call. He calls me again. This is now 8:15. Still hasn't left yet. He goes, hey, are you okay if I go vote? This is when the election was happening. I'm in Canada, okay? And I go, can we just cancel the night, please? You're 2 hours and 15 minutes late. Like, it's good. I'm good. We don't have to go out tonight. There's clearly a lot going on. So I can't go vote? I'm like, dude, you're like 25. You make the decision for yourself. No. It's okay. I'll come get you. I'm going to leave right now. And then he leaves and he comes and he picks me up at 9:15 when the date was at 6 and the date begins. So he picks me up and he's like, okay, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I thought we were going for ice cream. And he goes, oh, yeah. Like, where you want to go? I'm like, you don't know where you're going to take me? Like, didn't you have that planned? He goes, yeah, well, what's around here? And I was like, okay, like, I guess there's like a Menchie's close by because he didn't live near me. So we get to Menchie's, we get our ice cream, we sit down. And this man just talks about himself and his job and the girls that he's taking on a date, his exes, all of that. Don't bring your exes up on a first date. Talks about all of that, and we're like, okay, like, I think I'm good to go home. And he goes, okay, well, it's still early. Like, we just started the date. And I was like, you were 2.5 hours late. He's like, no, like, let's go do something. I'm like, okay, like, what do you want to do? And he's like, just get in the car and we'll find out. I'm like, okay. I get in the car. Our activity was literally just driving around the area for over an hour, just still talking about him. The night ends, he gives me a kiss of goodnight, and he looks at me and he goes, I want to take you out on a second date. And I was like, listen, if you want to take me out on a second date, it's got to be better than this. Like, you need to plan better. And he gives me a kiss and looks me dead in the eyes and goes, I think you're being dramatic. I planned this pretty well.
No, he was not joking. And I was like, excuse me, sir? You planned this well? This is you planning well? Fast forward when he did try to take me out on a second date, then he started talking about how he had the same issues with another girl. I don't condone ghosting, but I did ghost this man. And I would have done it again and again because what the hell was that? Like, seriously, don't tell a girl that she's overdramatic or oversensitive, especially on the first date, especially when you did not plan properly. You were 2 hours late. How are you thinking that this was going well?